Good morning, ladies and gents. I'm Katie, and these are my Leaf Diaries. Come on me to another adventure. We're off to Sofia this time for the Bolívar Orenda launch. It's 4:45 in the morning, heading over to the airport. Next will be the first international Emberleaf and Philippopolis combined event in Plovdiv, just after Sofia. So it's going to be a long trip. You better strap on. I hope you like it. Just went through checking in. Now I need to go quickly through security. From there I'm going to look for a nice quiet place where I can sit down, have a drink, and tell you all about what I'm going to do today. I'm going to try and talk to you about a few things, namely pricing, as well as what's going on currently with Habanos events globally, because, well, yeah, we'll talk about it. Let me go through security and I'll pick you up from there. I'm hoping to have some great content. It's all going to depend on how things go, but fingers crossed. All right, security ahead of me. I'll catch you in the other side. Successfully through security, now on my way for a nice, cozy and quiet place to enjoy. So, on the menu, as it were, is going to be the Bolívar Orenda discussion. And a few other bits and pieces. Some talk about, regional edition cigars, but also about pricing. So, yesterday, I was trying to Google the Bolívar Generales online. And as I was Googling it, I got to a website that was advertising Bolívar Generales for €1,100 per box. And I nearly fainted. Now, most of you are going to say, Katie, relax, mate. It's probably fake, which it was. You know, it was like a fraudulent website, or at least it looked like one, because it was trying to impersonate the La Casa del Habano Brussels. Now, it was quite well made, and for the first few minutes, it got me, if I have to be honest. I even announced it in my club and my Telegram group as, congratulations, boys, you're now going to be paying a lot more than you thought you were. Because I've been talking about price increases and how, scarcity in Cuban cigars is driving prices, and how essentially, I think, my personal opinion is that the only way to be able to get good Cuban cigars in the future, and what I mean by good, I mean rare, will be through cooperation. And what I mean by that, and there's a lot of what I mean by that, but here we go, is going to be private cigar clubs where people bond together and they share what they find. Because I just think the days of get what you want on retail price are long gone, long behind us. Especially with Chinese resellers acquiring a taste for regional editions, which they, up until recently, were telling everyone that cared to listen that are horrible, and now they're hunting them, and they're hunting them in big numbers. Empor is selling directly to those resellers. Now Laguito apparently is selling, because there's people posting pictures with 50, 60 boxes of the new regional, which no one apparently can get a hold of in terms of normal smokers and collectors. So it's going to be an interesting one. What else? Obviously, we've got the event of Kaliman, the launch of the Orenda, and obviously my event in Plovdiv. So it's going to be an interesting one. Let me find somewhere to sit down, and we'll pick up the conversation in a second. Right, not the most quietest of places, unfortunately. Luton seems to be a very, how do I put it, very noisy airport, unfortunately. And therefore, I'm going to try and lose the background noise in the edit after that with my software. So, going back onto the subject. Bolívar Orenda launches tomorrow. Kaliman Caribe have elected not to do a full event. Instead, what they like to call is almost like an external selling point. So they've hired a place which is just above the Millennium Ozone Sky Bar in Sofia. They've hired a terrace, as far as I understand it, which is one level above the Ozone Sky Bar. and they're only going to sell. There's going to be no program, no drinks, no snacks, no nothing, no entry fee. It's literally you walk in and you buy. So, because there's quite a few things that they're going to be launching alongside the Bolívar Orenda, I'll try and run you through them. So they're launching Cohiba Esplendidos Reserva. They're also launching Romeo and Juliet Short Churchill Reserva. They're launching Punch Princesas Edición Limitada 2025. Like, finally, we are now mid-April, which is kind of a normal, not really normal, but almost normal. It's almost 5 months since the launch in Limassol. Then we've got Romeo and Juliet Amantes. Then we've got Cohiba Vistuosos, which is the travel humidor. They're launching Partagas Royales travel humidor, Montecristo Heredores, Q Dorset Especial Dorset, and of course the Bolívar Orenda. Now, what's interesting about this launch is that they're launching the Montecristo Heredores, which are cigars that weren't launched properly probably about 4 years ago, because I've got still cigars left from boxes from 2022. Now they're showing up on the market, and they've been nowhere to be found for the last 4 years, which is going to be a treat. Now, the prices are not amazing. It is what it is in today's market. I don't think that's that big of a deal. The price of the Bolívar Orenda is also, somewhat more expensive than what the Bulgarian customers are used to, but unfortunately they're going to have to get used to a lot more expensive prices going forward, or at least the trend goes that way. So yeah, that will be that. The Kaliman event is not really an event, it's more of a sale outside of their usual stores in the Cohiba Atmosphere. They just probably wanted to do something a little bit more glamorous, a little bit more spacious for more people to come. We'll see. They offer a click and collect service, which means you prepay your boxes and you're guaranteed you're going to get some. This is usually done when the distributor assumes that they will not have enough boxes for everyone in attendance. Of course, yours truly has reserved boxes for myself and for the people in my club. The people in my club who are coming with me to Bulgaria to pick up their own boxes. So I think one to be expected. I will ask if I'm allowed to record at that quote-unquote event. I don't know if I will be able to, because the laws on recording people in Bulgaria are not the same as in the UK and the rest of the world. They're quite strict. You can't really record people in public. So we'll see how it goes. They're quite private individuals, as it seems, essentially. From there, I've arranged private hire car to come and pick us up from the actual event at Kaliman Caribe, and they're going to take us to Plovdiv straight away. So that's pretty much it. From Plovdiv, I've reserved something called the Whiskey Library, which is in the hotel that we're staying at, the Radisson Hotel. On the top floor, there is a whiskey library bar, cigar and whiskey bar. They have something like 200 whiskeys or something along those lines. So that is for Thursday evening. Friday evening, we've got the Emberleaf and Philippopolis event, where I'm going to be presenting the Saint Luis Rey Adamastor. I'm going to be sharing those cigars with the members of my club and the Philippopolis club members as well, on the price that I bought them, to make sure that it's fair and people are comfortable and happy. In the Russian club in the Old Town in Plovdiv, there's, I think, about 35 people in attendance, so it's going to be a nice little gathering in a private setting with a 3-course meal, and I'm very much looking forward to that. From there, we're going to be traveling back to London on Saturday. Now, usually I would stay on the Saturday and travel on Sunday. Stay on Saturday, travel on Sunday. Unfortunately, I have some business I need to attend to, so I have to go back earlier. Plus, I want to go to Luxembourg as well to try and find some Bolívar Generales, which is probably going to be an impossible task, but we'll see what I can do. And I also need to go to Bruges to pick up some boxes. So there's some exciting trips ahead of me. I might pick up a few of my club members if they are willing to travel with me and see how that goes, and see if they want to be part of the show here at KD Leaf Diaries. That's going to be an interesting one. Now, I've got a nice espresso martini to enjoy. It's only 6 o'clock in the morning, so cheers. So that's going to be it from me for now. From here, obviously, I'm going to look at boarding the plane. Nice three and a half hours flight, cab, apartment, and of course, Cohiba Atmosphere or La Casa del Habano. And from there, I've got a table reserved at the Ozone Sky Club where I'm meeting some friends from Bulgaria. I doubt I'll be able to film content, as I mentioned already. I need permission. We'll see how it goes. At least I'm going to try and do some B-rolls from Ozone Sky Club. Not that you haven't seen it in previous videos, but just because. So, catch you on the flip side. Just landed in Sofia after 3 hours and a half, something like that, flight. I'm waiting to pick up my luggage, then I'm going to check into my apartment and I'm going to Cohiba Atmosphere, surprise, surprise. Might go through a few shops just to see if there's anything available, although I very much doubt there will be. Cigar availability in Bulgaria in the last probably year and a half has been quite scarce, unfortunately. That's why I always bring my own cigars. I never rely on anything of substance. There's a lot of standard edition stuff that's not up to my taste, so I wouldn't, bet on it. Once I get to Cohiba Atmosphere, I'll see if it's not too packed. I might do a little bit more. If not, see you tomorrow. Alrighty, so just checked into the hotel. I'm now en route to Cohiba Atmosphere, going through what Bulgarians call the yellow pave, which is like a yellow no clue. The road is yellow. Here you go, have a look. See? Yellow. Anyhow, since the route to Cohiba Atmosphere goes through Parliament Square, Tsar Liberator in English, Tsar Osvobodito, where the La Casa del Habano is. I'll probably go through La Casa del Habano and see if there is anything interesting to buy, and later on smoke in Ozone Sky Club. Of course, I'm fully prepared. I'm not messing about. I'm not going to depend on whatever stock they've got there. I've got my own cigars with me to make sure that I can smoke whatever I like to smoke rather than whatever is available in the actual shops of Kaliman. I've been burned quite a few times, so I'm not chancing it. I like to book this area because I don't know if you can see behind me, but it's absolutely beautiful. Let me show you. Absolutely. This is the old Parliament building, and behind there is the famous cathedral in Sofia with the golden dome roofs. Now, it's going to be interesting when I'm going to be able to find something or not. I'm hoping to, although I doubt it. The reason why I doubt it is because obviously they've got an event tomorrow, and usually when they've got an event coming up, they tend to keep the cigars for the event itself. But again, they're not calling it an event really. It's just an extended sales initiative or something along those lines is what they told me. So we'll see. Hence why I'm gonna go and see what's happening. It's en route anyway. I'm not deviating from Cohiba Atmosphere, so otherwise I wouldn't bother. Just go straight to Cohiba Atmosphere, sit down and relax and enjoy a nice Habano Puro. I was half-minded whether to continue doing the vlog because I have to carry the camera now up until probably 2 o'clock in the morning with me, but I decided to take you with me. So, La Casa del Habano, Sofia, in front of me. Let's see what's what. I was actually quite surprised. I managed to find a full box of Rafael González Coronas de Lonsdale. Coronas de Lonsdale. which I'm quite chuffed about. And those of you watching might say, Katie, this is a very cheap cigar. Yes, indeed, it's a very cheap cigar, but at the same time, it's an absolutely sensational cigar. Get rid of those sunglasses. One of, if not the most underrated Habanos Puro. If you haven't tried it, wake up and smell the coffee. I was saying the same thing about the La Gloria Cubana Turquinos, and I kind of regret it a little bit because now I can't find a single box. I have a strange feeling if I keep talking about the Coronas de Lonsdale a little bit too much, I might not be able to get a single box of that either. But this is what I do. I recommend, and I try to tell you what's good and what's not good. I was also happy to be able to buy a couple of singles from Partagás Lusitania and Juan Lopez Lancero Adriatico, but only 2 singles of each, which is absolutely normal. You know, they have got limited quantity. They did have boxes, but they didn't want to sell them because obviously limited quantities. They want to make sure that they serve as many customers as humanly possible, which in my book is the right thing to do. The worst thing I think for distributors is to do what people like Kempor and Diadema Spa, Tabacalera are actually doing, where Chinese resellers will walk in and they'll get 150 boxes of regional edition cigars, and then the actual natives are not able to even try them. That's disgusting. So hats off to Kaliman Caribe. They're doing the right thing. Yes, I walked out with 4 cigars and a box of cheap cigars, but I am happy and I am grateful. So off to Cohiba Atmosphere. I doubt I'll be able to find anything more there. And now that I've got a few singles, that I don't think they'll give me any more. I think it's going to be a bit cheeky for me to even ask. So, because like I mentioned already, you have to be respectful towards the other smokers that are also trying to get these cigars. A lot of people are not. A lot of people go, oh, why did you not sell me a box, and you're selling to so and so, and I see resellers selling these. But yeah, but business is business. You know, there's business reasons why they'll sell, you know, these cigars to resellers. Resellers will go and buy in bulk. We don't buy in bulk, and I get it to a degree. It is what it is, I guess. And you know what? When we can't find decent Cuban cigars, if the time comes, and not if, when the time comes, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. There's always New World cigars. There's always smoking pipes. Hence why I've hinted about a new series in the KD Leaf Diaries, because I've embarked actually on a new journey with smoking pipes. So stay tuned for that. Right, so a quick update on Emberleaf. I wanted to mention we are 7 currently in the club. There's only 3 more spaces. There's a few more applicants who are late to the table, but you know, I'll give them an opportunity to have an interview and we'll see if they're a good fit for the club. Once we get to 10, that's going to be that. So if you're interested, get in touch. The more the merrier, up until 10 essentially. 3 or 4 of the guys are coming with me to Plovdiv. Sorry, yes, 3 of the guys are coming in from London to Plovdiv. We're going to have a joint event with Philippopolis Cigar Club, something that I've turned into kind of a tradition which started last year, where I bring a box of regionals from elsewhere. This year is going to be the Saint Luis Rey Adamastor from Portugal, and we basically get together, I share the cigars, and we have an evening, long story short. And then usually we have a long weekend in Plovdiv, but because everyone's kind of busy over this particular weekend and we didn't want to postpone it further, people are coming in tomorrow, which is Thursday, and we're flying back on Saturday. So tomorrow is going to be Sofia. Then I think I mentioned that actually private hire to Plovdiv in the evening, whiskey library, and then the event in the Russian club. So that's basically it up until now. I'm still walking towards Cohiba Atmosphere. There's another couple of minutes to go, and I can sit down and relax. I think Stoyan and Zhelko are gonna come and join me later on in Ozone Sky Club to have to have a cigar and a couple of drinks. And then tomorrow, the boys are flying in from London and off to the races, essentially. I'll try and do as much content as possible, although it's easier when I'm alone, but it's a bit rude when I'm not alone. I'm also going to attempt, and I don't promise, but I will attempt to do a Bolívar Orenda review as soon as Friday morning. So release is Thursday, next morning. If the guys are sleeping, I'll try and sneak out to a nice cafe, sit down with the camera and give you my first thoughts of the Bolívar Orenda. Had a really nice and relaxing time in Cohiba Atmosphere. Had a nice tasty Portuguese regional. And went to another couple of shops. Unfortunately, absolutely nothing. There's, like I said, there are cigars. It's just regular production of things that everyone who's been collecting for more than a year has probably boxes upon boxes of them. At this point, I gave up. So I'm gonna go back to my apartment, freshen up a little bit. I've got a little bit of private business to attend to, and then I'm gonna head over to the Ozone Sky Club. One of the members of my club is arriving in 10 minutes time at Sofia airport, and I'll meet him there. Also, a couple of friends from Bulgaria are gonna meet us as well, and I think we're gonna have an absolute blast as every single time. That's gonna be it for today. Let's see what tomorrow holds. Morning. Today's Friday, the day of the event at Plovdiv with Philippopolis Cigar Club. Cannot wait. Just outside the hotel, beautiful garden here where you can just take a nice stroll. I don't know if you can see the background, but it's absolutely sensational, the Radisson at Plovdiv. And we're going to Best Cigars with a friend of mine. We'll see how things go. We should have a coffee and a nice cigar, and from there we're gonna go to Plovdiv. The event was absolutely sensational, but the taxi is here, so I'll catch you in a minute. Right, 0.25 seconds later, we are at the Best Cigar Lounge in Plovdiv. Best Cigars, having a nice, relaxing coffee with cigar with a friend. We're waiting for another friend, the owner, Jordan, to see him and say a few words. And yeah, after that we're gonna have a nice lunch and we'll pick it up from there, ladies and gents. Tonight, obviously, we've got the event. I'll do content and you'll be able to see I've prepared a little speech as well for the attendees. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Up until now, it's been absolutely out of this world. So yeah, I'll catch you later.
And I didn't want to even ask you that. Who that was, I'm sure. Next year, the exact same day. Exact same fucking day. No exception.
Things you do when you try.
Yeah.
Event evening, en route to the venue. Cannot wait. 35, maybe 40 people roughly. Event in the Russian club in the old town of Plovdiv with the entire Philippopolis club. I cannot wait. I've got my troops from Ember Leaf waiting for me. We're waiting for the cab and we are ready, lock, stock and loaded. And this is the scenery in front of this club where we're gonna have the dinner. So okay, ladies and gents, let's see how it goes. Wish me luck. I'm not gonna break a leg. The scenery looks absolutely sensational. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Wow. Spectacular place, absolutely sensational venue. Just look behind me. Amazing. Everyone's gathering, roughly 35 people, 40 people, something like that. One massive long table, absolutely sensational. All aficionados from Plovdiv, from London, from Malta, you name it. It's just sensational. And the venue, I mean, enough said, I guess. So, ready to start sharing the cigars, and I've prepared a short speech. I hope I'm gonna make the speech because I haven't rehearsed it, so it's gonna be an interesting one. Wish me luck.
Уважаеми членове на Джентълменско Филипополис, скъпи гости, добре дошли на една специална вечер. Специална не само заради специалните пури, които ще опитаме, не че това е без значение, а специална е правим всички ние, които сме тук тази вечер. Няма да говоря повече, давам думата на Константин Денишев.
Благодаря ви, дами и господа. Казвам се Константин Денишев, колекционер на Habanos Puros. И тази вечер идвам специално да споделя една прекрасна вечер с вас от Лондон и нося едни специални издания, за които ще ви разкажа накратко на български и на английски, защото имаме и гости от Лондон. Ще ви помоля за търпение, защото за пръв път чета речта. Малко съм неподготвен, за съжаление. Дами и господа, тази вечер бих искал да ви представя една пура с истинска идентичност зад себе си. Става въпрос за Saint Luis Rey Adamastor, Edición регионал Португал, 2023 година. Saint Luis Rey е историческа марка на Habanos с много дълбоки корени от преди Втората световна война, а самото име най-често се свързва с романа The Bridge of Saint Luis Rey, който е бил изключително популярен по това време. Така още самата марка носи историята и характер на самата пура. Преди да стигнем до него и това конкретно издание, бих искал и да ви разкажа малко повече за името Адамастор. Habanos имат една специална линия, която ние наричаме регионално издание, което са пури, които се предоставят на определени региони. От 2005 насам, всяка година се произвеждат пури, които се представят само в определени региони в Европа, Южна Америка и Азия. Това, което прави тази пура наистина специална, е самото име Адамастор. Адамастор идва от португалската литература, от Os Lusíadas на Луиш де Камоиш. Той не е просто гигант, той е олицетворение на добра надежда, символ на бурята, опасността и непознатото море. В историята той се появява пред Васко да Гама и неговият екипаж, когато те се опитват да преминат през острова на Добрата надежда, и тогава се появява един огромен великан, който се нарича Адамастор и ги предупреждава за опасностите и се опитва да ги накара да спрат и да не продължават. Въпреки всичко, въпреки всичките тези трудности, решават да продължат. Произведена е 2023 по програмата на Habanos, но беше представена в 2024 година като регионално издание за Португалия от Empor. 10 000 номерирани кутии от 10 пури и това е една невероятна пура с земни тонове, препечен кедър и пипер, след което развитието е към какао, еспресо и кожа. Това е като цяло пурата. Говорим за Лансеро, едно от най-редките издания на Habanos. Тези от вас, които са колекционери и пушат кубински пури отдавна, вие ще знаете, че Лансерос като цяло, като витола, нали, доста трудно се срещат. Имаме ги в Тринидад, Фундадорес, имаме ги в Кохиба, но извън тези издания, като стандартни продукции или La Casa del Habano или Habanos Specialist ги няма никъде. Бяхме доста щастливи и, как да кажа, късметли тази година, защото имаме Saint Luis Rey Adamastor, имаме Хуан Лопес Адриатико, така че това е от мен за сега. Благодаря. Gentlemen and ladies, tonight I would like to present a cigar with real identity behind it, the Saint Luis Rey Adamastor Edición Regional Portugal 2023. Saint Luis Rey is a historic pre-Second World War mark established before the events of World War II. The name is widely associated with the Bridge of Saint Luis Rey, a novel that was highly regarded at the time. So the brand itself already carries historical significance and character. What makes it truly outstanding is the name Adamastor. Adamastor comes from the Portuguese literature from Os Lusíadas de Luís Camões. He's not just a giant, he is a personification of the Cape of Good Hope, a symbol of danger, of storm, and an unknown sea. The vitola is Laguito Especial, 192 mm by 40 ring gauge, finished with a pigtail. It's a strong, slim, and elegant vitola. You can expect earth, toasted cedar, and pepper that will very quickly develop into cocoa, espresso, and leather. This is a very significant vitola because we're talking about a Lancero. For those of you that have been collecting Cuban cigars and smoking Cuban cigars, you will know that Lanceros are not very common in the Habanos portfolio. Usually, when we talk about Lanceros, we talk about Trinidad Fundadores, we talk about Cohiba. This year, we were actually quite fortunate to get two Lanceros. We've got the Saint Luis Rey Adamastor from Portugal, which we're going to taste tonight. And also we have the Juan Lopez Adriatico Lancero. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you're going to have an amazing evening tonight. Cheers to everyone, and I hope you like the cigar. Thank you very much.
Щастливи сме Костадин Деничев да бъде един от нас. Всяка негова среща с пива е среща с една интересна пура, която няма откъде се купи в България. Така че нека ушенето да започне сега.
Благодаря. Благодаря много. Thank you very much for watching. Just landed at Luton Airport in London on the way back home. Thank you for joining me in this amazing adventure. I'll catch you next time. I hope you enjoyed the content. I'm KD. These were my Leaf Diaries.